Welcome back, my kings and queens. It's been a while. Girl had to do a bunch of jarring to catch up. So today I like just to give my 2 cents on this gun factory going through. I like to tell you comedians, stick to your job, okay? Because right about now, you're fucking with the wrong topic. I'm just gonna keep it real, okay? None of y'all niggas own a gun. You are protected by fucking bodyguards that do own a gun. So, if they take away guns, then you're no longer protected. That means motherfuckers get to come across to you. So, I advise you, watch your mouth. The NRA, they don't play. And neither does this household. So, we're gonna continue on with this story. And welcome back, all my kings and queens, to Keeping It Real with the Deja Show.
Saturday Night Live on Saturday night turned into a late night lecture on guns.
No, you're not allowed to have 40 guns anymore. From now on, you can have 1 gun, max, and 6 bullets. If you can't hit what you're shooting with 6 bullets, then you don't need to be shooting at it. Learn karate or use your words.
Here it's reaction to Saturday Night Live on this Monday morning. We've got National NRA spokesperson Dana Lash join us from Dallas today. Dana, good morning to you.
Okay, we're gonna stop this clip right now. Now, this nigga got a nerve talking about learn karate, or if we don't hit our target with 6 bullets, we don't need to be shooting. Don't you know there's terrorists out there? I'm sure you do. The motherfucking writers you got back there in the background writing your script and your jokes, you need to fire them motherfuckers because they about to get you shot, okay? Now, stick to your motherfucking script and tell those corny ass jokes like you've been telling, alright? Before somebody come in and swoop your fucking corny ass job. It ain't that motherfucking hard, okay? So, all my NRA people, you already know what to do, because these niggas, they acting stupid. Well, we just gonna lock and load and continue on.
To have 40 guns anymore. From now on, you can have 1 gun, max, and 6 bullets. If you can't hit what you're shooting with 6 bullets, then you don't need to be shooting at it. Learn karate or use your words.
Steve, good morning to you.
Okay, so you don't need guns. Just learn karate or use your words.
Yeah, karate or words. I'm certainly not going to take any kind of firearm lecture from people who clearly don't either own them or have never even fired them, and don't even understand the concept of self-defense either. This idea that you're going to have a 6-round limit, and then they compared them to cats, Steve, because you know people all over the United States every single day successfully defend their lives using cats.
Well, one of the things that he brought up, and I've heard a number of people on the political left for the most part talk about, is the number of guns. I've heard them say, I can't believe the guy had 30 guns or 40 guns, whatever the number is. Something I would ask them is, what is the correct number of guns any American can have? Because I haven't heard anybody say an American should only have blank number of guns, or 1 gun, or no guns. I've heard a lot of people say no guns.
Right. Well, yeah, and I'm curious to see how they propose that to work, because you would need firearms to go door to door to houses all over the United States, millions of Americans, and confiscate said firearms. And to that point, Steve, there are millions of Americans all throughout the country that own multiple firearms, and some of them, yes, even own 40 firearms. And you know what? They've been owning these 40 firearms for decades, and millions of law-abiding Americans who have not done anything. Firearm owners, concealed carriers, they're the most law-abiding group, and that's the thing. Evil lives among us, and I've said this before. It's real. You have to deal with evil, and I certainly want to be prepared to deal with evil or a monster with the ability to defend myself, as opposed to not having that ability to defend myself. And people like Michael, who do their show over at SNL in a building where they have armed security, they have the luxury of being able to tell everyone else to disarm because it's class warfare. These individuals can afford private security. They work in a building that's with armed guards, and you know that they wouldn't go for 1 single day without those armed guards. Why don't you give up the firearms that your private security is holding? You're not being more virtuous just because you're paying someone else to carry it. You're outsourcing it because you lack the courage of your own convictions.
Did you see Dianne Feinstein was on one of the Sunday chat shows yesterday, and she was asked, are there any laws that would have prevented what happened in Las Vegas? And she said no.
Yeah. She said no because, and I can't even believe my words or my mouth is making these words. She was right on that. There's nothing that could have been done, unfortunately, to prevent this tragedy. You know, and I know that this investigation is ongoing, and I don't want to get ahead of the law enforcement that's involved in this right now. But usually with individuals like these, there are some sort of red flags, and I'm just curious as to what sort of vibe, what sort of red flags that this individual was putting out. I mean, I look at James Hodgkinson. Immediately after that tragedy, nobody really knew his MO, and it took a while for that information to come out that he was targeting on political ideology. But then people started talking about the red flags that were popping up about this guy, and sooner or later the truth will out.
Right, exactly. Although people who knew this guy can't figure out what those red flags were. I want one. We're going to play one more soundbite for you, Dana. Here is Steve Schmidt, who was for a while John McCain, when he was running for president, chief strategist. Here he is on HBO on Friday night.
The founding fathers, though, they could no more conceive of an AK-47 or an AR-15 firing on full automatic than they could have conceived of a spaceship. It is harder to buy cough medicine than it is to buy an AK-47 or 50 of them.
Is that true? It's harder to buy cough medicine than it is to buy an AK-47 or 50 of them?
No, and by his logic, you would have to buy cough medicine that's actually really old. I mean, pre-1986 is the how old that cough syrup would have to be, and then you have to get law enforcement approval and spend thousands of dollars. That's completely inaccurate. And he's just not speaking from any position of experience, so I'm not quite sure why he's chiming in on the law here. But no, you have to go through many steps, in fact, to be able to do that. And for his point, Steve, really quickly, on the historicalness of full auto. In fact, our founding fathers were aware of it. We had the puckle gun, the knock gun, the Belton gun. The Continental Congress was getting ready to purchase a fully automatic firearm, but they were prohibited in doing so only because of cost, not because of desire. So if people actually picked up a book and understood the history about firearms, maybe they wouldn't make such silly arguments on live television. That's awful.
I hadn't.